It's go time. Good morning, Chip. Cheerio. Now, what's up, motherfuckers? This is Chris Coleman back on Next Millennial podcast again. I'm here with my good friend Zachary Douglas. Mr. Douglas, how are we doing?
What's going on, man?
Oh, you know.
Good to be here.
Yeah, well, you've been gone for a while, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Tight, dude.
4 months.
4 months down in Virginia.
Yes, yeah. Going to school on a NASA base. It was a good time. I got to experience some nice NASA things, you know.
Yeah.
Rockets, you know, test launches.
Dope.
It was a good time. Sounds
good, buddy. Yeah. So how was Virginia as a whole? Did you enjoy that or?
I do like Virginia. I don't like how humid it is. It's not a good time in the summer. Also, if you like getting attacked by serious mosquito,
yeah, they're
poison.
They're fucking bad on the East Coast for sure. Yeah,
it's horrible. I had one bite on my leg that swelled up, and I thought I was gonna lose my leg, but luckily that went away.
Oh yeah, there you go. The West Nile. That would get you, sneak up on you. Anyway, so tell us a little about yourself, man. Like, where you from? What's going on there?
I'm from Oregon. I'm 24 years of age, and I like having a good time, man. Surfing, snowboarding, you know.
Dope.
Those,
fucking gnarly, dude.
Fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Those good things in life.
Absolutely. So, so the trail. I know you use Oregonians or Oregonians, whatever the fuck it is. You guys are huge about the trail. So who walked the trail, man? Was it grandfather, great-grandfather?
Honestly, my family's from Southern California, so just...
so that's just a shit question.
Just didn't make it, man. we barely got up there. It was like last, I don't know, 10 years or so.
Fuck the trail, we're taking the road.
Fuck the trail, yeah.
You guys take the trail, get it all settled. We'll meet you up there in the car.
Family's a bunch of innovators, man.
That's funny.
Take the high road, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a good time. Yeah. The way I actually got to Oregon is an interesting story, though. My mom was living in Southern California, and she was pregnant with me. And a guy got shot outside of her apartment. And he actually, like, fell through the front door. And she was, like, assisting this man in whether or not this man was going to live. My dad was there also. He's kind of being a bitch, but standing in the background. But so she helped this man out and called the cops and everything. And then he got taken away in the ambulance. And immediately she calls my uncle and she goes, "You need to get me out of Southern California. I can't have my baby here." And so he drives down within a week, picks her up, starts loading up all her stuff and drives back up towards Washington. And we go all the way through Oregon, and then about 10 minutes into Washington, I was born. So I could have been born in potentially 3 different states.
Damn, dude. Yeah. In the car?
No. They stopped off at the nearest hospital. It was in Vancouver, Washington. It's like literally right over the bridge from Oregon to Washington.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty wild.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, no doubt. So technically, you're a Washingtonian or a Washingtoner.
Washington. Yeah.
We'll go Washingtoner.
I like that better. Yeah, I don't even want to attempt that word that you were trying.
Washingtonian. Yeah. Slaughtered that one.
Wet. That's what it is. Wet.
Well, yeah, no doubt. So that whole Northwest, I mean, that's a very interesting place. I know I've never been there, but I've always been attracted to it because I'm from the Northeast, you know, but I like the West Coast. But now down here in the Southwest, you know, Southern Cal, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of the heat. I like the woods. I like mountains. I like lakes. I don't like the beach.
But how do you feel about people? What kind of people are you attracted to?
People, dude, just as long as you're not a fucking douchebag, I like you. Like, if you're just a genuinely good person, I'm with it, man.
All right, man. Well, avoid Portland is all I got to say about that. Portland's a shithole.
They got all the millennials that are giving us the bad rep.
Yeah, they're rioting and destroying the city. It's a pain in the ass right now. I don't want to go back there.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. That makes no sense to me, man. You know, you don't get your way and then it's just the hard left is just, they just take it, I don't know, like you lost, get over it, you know?
I don't even know if it's so much about losing is like they won't, you can't even have a debate, an argument, or a discussion with with that side without them completely shutting you down and not even like giving an opinion a chance, really.
It's funny though, because a lot of them are, if you notice, a lot of them are rich, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Most
a lot of them
definitely.
grow up rich.
They
But
have celebrities running their campaigns.
yeah, they're rich, but they try to emphasize for the poor, while the poor and the middle class are over here on the right wing for the most part. Unless they want, free everything, they're pretty much right wing.
Right.
If you have, these fucks on the left, they're what they want. So the way I see it is they grew up with money, right? So they feel like entitled or whatever, but they get that benefit of having money, but they feel bad for the people that don't have that benefit. So then they stick up for them, so they feel like a good person, and then they're gonna get both benefits from both sides. But it doesn't work like that,
Right, and I think like life is about hardship and growing from that. And when you grow up in I guess you can say spoiled family, right? That upbringing where things are just handed to you over and over again, and when you don't get your way, you pout about it, and then it's spoon fed to you again, and you don't really learn your lesson. I feel like, at that point, like, you're not really growing as a person. You're kind of stuck in one state, which is kind of a tough situation for them, because some of the blame can be put on that upbringing as well, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. If you look at it, for the most part, people that grow up with, almost everything and every opportunity, they always fuck it up. Those are usually the kids that get big into drugs. Not all of them, obviously. Some people have... It's all about... I think it's really parenting. Parenting's huge.
I agree.
Whether you have good parents, but they're not very successful financially, or you have great parents and they are successful financially, it all comes down to the parenting and how you're raised. If you're given everything, you're going to be a little shithead. That's just how that usually works.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always seen it. And I also feel the parents feel, giving them everything, like that's their way out of the parenting thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just a quick, okay, he's happy now, and they just delay the problem and delay the problem.
Right.
Delay the problem.
There's no teaching moment.
No, it's just here, keep them distracted. And then next thing you know, they're 18 and they're fucking shooting heroin, and here you go. Or they lose an election and they're fucking rioting the city.
And now they're destroying establishments that would support their cause, like a Starbucks.
Yeah, that's funny how they always destroy the Starbucks. That's like their home base.
It's really ironic. It really makes no sense to me. Like, why would you destroy someone who all of you support this establishment and they all support you?
Yeah, in every video too. It's always like they show them destroying a Starbucks on the media.
The irony of it is too real.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. They make no sense to me, that kind of stuff. And remember that video of the UPS guy? Like, and they burned American flags? That was up in Portland, right?
Yeah.
That guy was a badass.
It was.
Let's give him some credit. If you're out there, Mr. UPS man, you're the man.
Save
it. Or was it FedEx?
I think it was the UPS guy.
One of them. Whatever you were. Dude, and...
Shouts out to Ups, man. Saving lives.
Yeah, Ups. Yeah. Hell yeah. Delivering packages and freedom. That's awesome. Yeah, well, even the hard right, like, you gotta admit though, because I don't consider myself hard right. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm pretty rational. Like, I'll look at both sides. I wasn't a huge fan of Trump, but I did not like Hillary whatsoever. I didn't personally even vote, because, in the military, we have to vote, like, extra early. Because especially since I'm based in California, my home state and my home state of residence is Pennsylvania, I have to, go through this huge process. It takes forever, and I have to do that through Pennsylvania, and I have to vote early, but I have to wait for that process to take place. So by the time I decided that I actually wanted to vote, which was like a couple weeks before the election, it was already too late. Like, that process wouldn't have been done.
We were also on deployment, I think, at that point, right? We couldn't actually get a voting ballot in.
I believe so. There was a way. I know Chief Saul was like really...
Oh, if he was pushing it, he didn't even let me know about it. And I'm in his division, so it's kind of messed up.
I thought people were... Yeah, I thought some of the Chiefs were definitely trying to push for it, but I didn't really... I don't know. By the time I wanted to do it, it was too late. But I was gonna vote Gary Johnson, man. I thought Gary Johnson's a pretty reasonable dude.
That's the guy that faked a heart attack on stage.
Oh yeah,
that dude was legendary, dude.
Yeah.
I was all about that guy when I saw that video. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty cool dude, though. I mean,
I'm sure
I think
there was
he
more
was governor of New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Mexico. And he also had a policy where he called it an open door policy, and every day for like an hour and a half, like people can walk off the streets and go into his office and like talk to him about anything.
That's
any
pretty
problems,
epic.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you want someone who's gonna like be for the people, right?
Yeah, exactly. But you gotta think that's New Mexico. What's the population of New Mexico?
That's fair. I couldn't even tell you.
Per capita, probably, I would imagine, maybe the lowest in the country. Well, close out of the states, because that's a big state.
Yeah.
I feel like not many people live there.
I could see that.
So it's definitely much easier for, on a state level rather than a, country level, where if you just let the doors of the White House open, which they do, by the way.
Obama did that, actually. Did you hear about that dude that ran in with the knife trying to get killed?
The door was wide open. Yeah. It wasn't even locked.
Yeah, that was great. What a story. And he didn't even get shot. He just got to run around.
Yeah, he was just running there. Well, the thing was, too, they had they had a chick guarding the door, and he just fucking bum rushed her.
Yeah.
Pushed her out of the way.
Yeah.
And then, did whatever. I think he was just shocked that he was even in there.
I would be too, if I made it that far.
Yeah. And apparently he had a ton of ammunition in his car, and he left it all in the car.
I heard about that too, yeah. That's a suicide mission in itself. To leave the guns and the bullets and just run in with a knife.
I'm just flabbergasted that they left the fucking door open. It's open. It's not even locked. What?
Yeah, how this man got past all of that, ran around the White House for however long he did, and then his suicide mission turned into just him getting tackled and handcuffed.
Yeah.
How do you feel at that point? You go to prison and you have to sit there and think about how stupid your epic run of 5 minutes in the White House was for nothing.
Well, what do you think happened to that dude? You think he definitely went to prison, right? But what do you think his sentence was? I have no idea.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, honestly,
it can't be life or 20 years. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be life. No way. I mean, breaking and entering something
actually maybe public. Though, if he had a knife, and that can be conspiracy to kill the president, and that's definitely a huge crime. You know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, yeah, I guess you.
Anyway,
this
fuck
dude
that dude.
Could be fucking lifer. Fucking piece of shit. Fuck that guy.
That's funny. I'm surprised too, the way everyone talks about Trump and stuff. I don't know. I think he's doing his job. He kind of pissed me off when he was doing all those what was it, the bills where he just writes them off. What's it called? I forget. Where he doesn't have to ask Congress or anything. He just does it himself.
Just sign it himself. I can't remember what that is.
God damn it, I forget it. Anyway, y'all know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. He kept doing that in a row. It was almost like he was just abusing the power. You know what I mean?
Was it pushing what he elected, what he was elected for? It
was for but still, I mean, because imagine, you got to think too. This is why when it comes to the hard left, if you think, say Hillary got in there, right? Hard right would be pissed. They'd be angry.
Sure.
I don't think they'd be rioting and stuff. Personally, I don't think they're that kind of people.
The hard right wasn't rioting when Obama was elected, and I'm pretty sure they were pretty pissed about that. Yeah, well, there also were some pretty fucking weird, gatherings where they had, pictures of him, hanging and bunch of but, I mean,
Southern-looking boys fucking,
those are the pretty hard few racist KKK members left in the world that
make everyone else look like shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't really give you a good name as a white guy.
But I feel like every race has that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta blame the media. You gotta blame the media for that. They focus on that little... That's why I don't watch the news. You watch the news and it's literally just a sad story for a half hour.
Right.
And the weather.
And
the Powerball. That's it.
I can't stand them.
They focus so much on negativity. Every time I see a good story, because I don't really watch the news, but when we go eat in the galley, they always have the news on.
And it's always CNN.
Yeah, but sometimes they have the local news on.
Oh,
so during dinner. So, like, it'll be on, but it's so rare that you see, like, a good story. There might be one about, like, someone saved a dog or something. You know,
right, it's always animal related. Because the first story that I thought was happy that popped into my head was related to animals.
Oh, definitely.
It doesn't.
Relate. Well, that's big out here, too. People are huge on, you know, eating vegan, vegetarian,
yeah.
Starbucks. Just all those hard left
Speaking
cliches.
of Starbucks again, now that we brought it full circle, I had a girl tell me about a drink order that sounded more like a Da Vinci Code problem. And I couldn't I can't crack that code. If I was ever in a Starbucks and I had to make an order, I would sound like a goddamn idiot.
Yeah, I agree. It is weird. You know, small, medium, large. It's like a big thing. A lot of people make fun of that. Like, come on, dude. Like, who do you think you are? Like, let's go. Let's be serious.
I walked in and said, I'll have a large black coffee. And she goes, no cream, no sugar. And I was like, yes. And then I hear the girl to the right of me say, Vente fucking, which is 20, right? Like, Vente's 20. And then she added like 7 words that I had no idea what that meant. And then all of a sudden out comes this peanut butter chocolate chip fucking
She knows the secret
combination.
language.
Yeah, dude, it's like its own fucking world in there.
The
I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
The Starbucks code. And none of that shit is good for you. All that stuff they have there. Like, that stuff, you know, crazy amounts of sugar.
Their black coffee's not even good.
No, I don't like their regular coffee. I think it's gross.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it is really bad. I think it's trash. Yo, some of my favorite coffee straight up is Folgers. Like, out of the thing. I think Folgers is so good, dude.
Yeah.
Just a nice black cup of Folgers.
Most definitely.
That'll do it for me.
I can handle that. I can't handle the Starbucks 7 combinations to get one thing drinks. I can't do it.
No. And I'm a big coffee guy. I just don't. I'm not even a huge fan of the Keurig. Like, the Keurig's okay, but I feel like it takes. It's so much different than having, you know, just the grounds, like the Folger grounds. This is what I grew up on, you know?
I mean, and you're getting one individual baby cup of coffee for the most, like,
they are
time.
tiny. Yeah,
they're small
for the most part.
If you're a big coffee drinker, you're gonna run through a $17 box of 5 Keurig cups, and you're gonna that'll be equivalent to one cup of coffee for you.
Yeah, or you can get a fucking giant jug of Maxwell House or Folgers for like $5. That'll
last you the month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's funny. I'm surprised. You think they do like they might. You know how like a lot of companies are doing these, you know, like the mystery box kind of things. Like, you could sign up for like dress socks and ties or whatever, and they'll send you it's like a subscription. They'll send you like random stuff.
No, I didn't know about that, honestly. No.
Really? There's a ton of companies that do that. There's like supplement companies that do that too. Like, you pay like $30 a month, and they just send you like a ton of, you know, maybe like 5 servings of this protein, and that protein, and then this pre-workout, and it just pretty much just switches it up every month.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Because especially when you come to pre-workout, I mean, I've found a few that I've always liked. I try to stay away from it now for the most part, but, you know, back when the only thing I cared about was what my max bench was when I was still like trying to, you know, get strong that way. Instead of now, like we talked about this before, I'm trying to, you know, work into the almost like survival fitness, you know? Like, I want to be able to run, like, I would love ideally to be able to, like, you know, run a marathon, you know, do as many do a certain amount of pull-ups, get back up to, like, you know, that 20, 25 range, be able to do 100 push-ups, just stuff like that, you know?
Right.
I'm not really, at this point, I'm not trying to get huge where I feel that for those guys, that's where most guys get the pre-workout thing, is like bodybuilders, you know, and powerlifters, they're big on that. Well, some powerlifters are fucking nuts. Like,
I think it's its own mindset sometimes to be a powerlifter.
Oh yeah,
because if like you don't have the right mindset and mentality going into it, you're gonna walk out of the gym defeated more times than not,
and you're gonna get fucking injured.
Yeah, and you'll get hurt too.
Yeah, you gotta go in there. Yeah, that's a big thing. I know. You know, my best friend's stepdad, he's a power lifter on his off time. Full-time prison guard, you know.
Right on.
Partial time. Hell yeah.
This guy sounds like a badass. I want to meet this guy.
Dude, Ron is a beast, bro.
Ron sounds like a beast. That is a fit name for that man.
Yes. Ron, I remember he told us one time, if you ever get in a fight, he said the most underrated move ever is a headbutt. He said no one expects it, and it's deadly. He said it's his favorite move. But anyway, so this guy benches like, an ungodly amount of weight. Like, I swear I seen him one time by himself. He showed me a video the last time I saw him. He was benching like 465 for reps, and no one else is in the gym. He doesn't have a spotter or anything.
That man is a savage.
Yeah, he just, dude, the guy's like, he's gotta be, I couldn't even tell you, at least, if you're looking at this dude from the side, from his back to his chest, you know, like his width is gotta be fucking 3 feet long, but he's short. Like,
that's ridiculous.
His torso is so deep, it's huge, it covers so much length. But I know he told me before powerlifting meetings and stuff, he didn't use pre-workout. What he would do is, you know how they have like, if someone passes out, they have those smelling salts,
right,
that wake you right up.
Yeah,
he would smell those fucking things. The guy's a savage.
That is like, that's on some football level, like get you ready for a game type stuff. Those dudes will sit on the sideline and wave that thing in their nose, like just get you pumped for a big ass game.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be pretty effective.
You gotta take that mentality into like almost everything you do if you want to be good at it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like, for sure.
I mean, I
guess that just comes to a point too when natural adrenaline just isn't enough.
It's fair, right?
Which is, you know, kind of hard to believe because adrenaline's pretty fucking crazy.
Adrenaline can get you through some serious shit, dude.
Absolutely. Fight or flight or freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's just fight or flight. No, it's fight, flight, or freeze. Because, you know, some people, they just freeze.
You seen that, speaking of adrenaline, that kid that got ran over by that car, him and his mom? The kid, like, the tire ran over the kid's head. And he gets up immediately and runs, like, straight to his mom. Just running on pure adrenaline. I'm pretty sure this kid was, like, under 10 years old.
That's unbelievable.
That's epic. I can't believe, like, what the human body can go through.
Oh, mixed with adrenaline?
Yeah, mixed with, like, those chemicals that, like, running through your body. You can do incredible things.
Absolutely. I mean, I know I wrote a paper on it, you know, back in school, and, you know, they're saying when it comes to fight or flight, like, your pupils get twice as big and your vision is so much more clear. And, you know, everything, you're quicker, you're obviously stronger during that time. But the biggest thing is you've already thought about everything you're going to do before it's done. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you've thrown snowballs at cars or whatever, and then, like, someone comes out and chases you, or the cops, and then you get that adrenaline rush.
Right.
It's so crazy how your reaction time was what I'm trying to say. It's so on point rather than like if I went through daily life like that, because you don't think about anything, you just do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's already a made up decision in your mind. Okay, I'm making a left here, I'm running here, I'm ducking. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not, should I go over this? Should I go under this tree that's in the way?
You're not analyzing it. You're just doing it.
You just react. Like, you're being proactive. You're not even reacting. You're very proactive towards the you know, blocking the road or whatever it is.
The end goal of getting away at this point in our made up scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever that is. I mean, that's pretty powerful. I know one of my favorite books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You ever read that?
No. Unfortunately, I'm not a big reader.
Well, I'm going to say this because I'm your friend, but you're fucking up and you're hurting yourself by not being a big reader, because it's very beneficial.
I know. And I've been told that many times, and I've also been motivated to read, and I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know. I don't sit down and just grab a book. It's not what I...
Okay, that's understandable.
I'm more of a hands-on, do things kind of guy instead of a, you know...
Yeah, but you can do things, and then, I mean, there's definitely time where you don't do things.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age when you're on, you know, Facebook or say whatever for 2 hours. Instead, just grab a book for a half hour that period of time.
You know, you make a strong argument, but, I mean, the motivation to get there, we'll see. We'll see where that falls in my life. I mean, somewhere down the road.
Hey, I just find it so beneficial, too, especially when you look at, you know, 90% of millionaires in the world, like, they all read.
Right.
Like, they're big into reading. They enjoy that. And there's a reason. You know, there's a direct correlation between, you know, the amount of books you read. Because knowledge is power. Well, knowledge can lead to power.
Right.
You know, action is power. The right action. But, yeah, knowledge is definitely, you know, very underrated in our society, too. Especially with our phones and everything. I mean, it's so crazy to think you have the answer to almost every question in the world
at your fingertips
at
all
your
times.
fingertips. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. And the amount that's actually used for that knowledge rather than just, hey, what is this kid that I went to high school with that I don't give a fuck about? What do you have for lunch today? You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, at the same time, having that, like, and I'm sure whoever made this easy, accessible knowledge at your fingertips thought about it beforehand too, because now that you know that you can just look up anything at any time, you're not retaining anything. You're not holding on to it. You're like, oh, well, I have my phone. I can just look this up at any given moment. I don't really have to learn it, you know? And like one of the instructors while I was in school said, don't study anything you can look up. Which is like, sure, it's a good statement for taking a test or you know, like something like that, a quiz or something, you know, like, or like maybe even troubleshooting in your job. But like when it comes down to like applying knowledge in real life situations, it's not like you're not gonna like personify to somebody else that you're like an intelligent human being or like anything like that. But well, you know, hold on, let me pull out my phone. Or what if your phone's not available at some point in time? You know, like it doesn't really make sense to me that people are so reliant on their phones, like, and like that quick information and stuff. You know, they're not. You're not getting smarter that way, right?
No, definitely not. I mean, it is useful, you know, but I kind of see what he said by that. What he means by that is, you know, you can only hold so much information in there.
Yeah,
right. And the amount of information that you take, and whether that's positive information or negative information, you know, all that stuff definitely has an effect on your well-being, on your brain, on your body, on everything, on your mind, you know, especially. I think, you know, it's very powerful. Like when you're looking, and that's why I like the news, right? That's why I don't like watching the news. It's all negative, negative, negative. And that, you know, that affects your body and the way it works.
It's true.
You know, bringing all that negative information.
It also desensitizes you to like, you know, those type of situations, those like that negativity.
Yeah, it definitely attracts you toward, you know,
yeah.
what you think attracts. Like you can actually measure a thought. Like a thought is measurable, right?
Right.
It's the law of attraction. You ever heard of the law of attraction?
I have, yeah. I'm not like familiar with like it too in depth, but yeah, definitely.
So what they say is, you know, the law of attraction is everything is, you know, based on attraction. Like atoms, everything, they're all attracted to something, like they're connected with something, right? To this, you know, just energy in total. So the fact that you could actually measure a thought, what they're trying to say is, you know, if you think that thought over and over and over again, you know, and you work towards that thought, you know, eventually it's going to happen. Like there's no way it can't happen.
Right.
But a lot of people, you know, they think that and they're like, oh, that's such bullshit because, you know, I could think this all I want. Well, it obviously takes action, but the thought helps. That's why, you know, meditation's so huge. You know, it's very, very effective. A lot of people, you know, a lot of very successful people meditate.
Right.
I mean, shit, it's a religion. It's a religious practice.
It is.
That's how big that is. Even prayer, you know, prayer is kind of the same thing. You just thinking that. And that's when people say, you know, I'm sending my prayers. What they're trying to do, I think, is, you know, send that energy, because that shit is measurable, to the universe. They're trying to send that energy, you know, for that person to recover. They're giving them...
You give them that positive reinforcement.
Yeah, not even just for themselves, but I think in a bigger picture, what it's doing is it's entering into the universe, you know, at the molecular level or whatever, and it's literally, you know, attracting to them to help them, you know, just positive energy,
right? Because
it's yin and yang, right, dude? We were talking about that before. You know, there's a yin and a yang for everything. There's a positive and a negative, and the world's in a perfect balance. So, you know, there has to be, you know, so much good things for so much bad things, so much positive things for so many negative things. I mean, you look at an electron, and it's, you know, perfect 50-50. It's like, that's the world.
I mean, you will look at it that way, but it's not perceived that way. It's always like we were talking about with the news. It's always so negative all the time. Like it's hard to find a positive outlook in a world that is always bringing you negativity. Like maybe not necessarily the world is bringing you negativity, but it's shown more. It, like, people are used to seeing the negative more than the positive, and so for them to go through life thinking that it's a 50-50, it's a two-way street, right? Like there for every negative thing that happens, there's going to be a positive to reinforce it or like bring you back up. Sometimes it's not that way, like it's not looked at that way, which causes more negativity. And I mean, you got depressed people, you got people taking their own lives and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think the world can do for some more positivity.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like it can do for some more positivity. But, people get so negative about, just stupid shit that, like, why are you negative about that?
Yeah.
And that takes, mental training and stuff. I mean, bro, you look at people in, starving kids in, like, Africa or, like, little villages in South America, and I've heard stories of people that have gone there and say, like, that those are the happiest people I've ever met in my life, and they have nothing.
They have nothing.
And they're just extremely happy. And then, hashtag first world problems, like that shit actually pisses you off.
Right. And they don't have a media that constantly bashes and like just shows them so much negativity all the time. Like they're in their world. Like what they have is what they have. They don't have like people talking about the like next murder down the street or anything like that. A guy running his car into hundreds of people in New York City and stuff like that. These mass murders on Facebook Live. Like, these people don't have that. They have themselves. They have their families, like, sure, first world problems, but I mean, some people might want to take their problems over some of the stupid shit we got going on here.
Yeah, I definitely, well, if you, like you said, they have their family, they have their friends and all, and they have their tribe, that's, a lot of people, it takes them a very long time to realize that's all that really matters,
Right.
Maybe that's why these people are always so happy.
Could be. And I mean, like, even the littlest things, like a fucking new t-shirt or a pair of shoes or something, that'll light a kid up. Not here, though. Yeah, with that dude LeVar Ball and making his son a pair of shoes that cost $495 a pair. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, he's an arrogant fuck.
That guy's a ridiculous piece of shit, dude. I can't stand that man.
I can't. Yeah, that
guy's ruining his son's career. Like, some teams don't want to draft him first overall, second overall because they know that his dad's baggage is
it's a package deal. You're
nasty.
getting fucking LeVar too, that fucking retard. I can't stand that guy.
He's just
such
even talking
idiot.
about him, just giving him that fame is too much. It disgusts me.
I agree. Yeah. All publicity is good publicity. So, yeah, let's stop talking about that
That's
guy.
true. Fair enough. Sorry I brought it up.
No worries. But yeah, back to the, with the news and everything too, I think it's almost designed that way.
Oh, most definitely.
It's definitely designed that way. I mean, you have to think, the top wants to stay at the top. The top doesn't watch the news.
Right.
Have you ever seen a Lamborghini commercial?
No.
No?
No.
Because people that could afford a Lamborghini aren't home watching TV. That's exactly why.
Exactly.
That's exactly why you're not going to see a Lamborghini commercial.
They're out motivated, man, reaching their goals and getting the money. And I mean,
that's where reading books comes in.
The
instead of the TV,
the opportunity and
the
the opportunity to make money in that fashion is, I mean, it's out there, dude. You could invent anything right now and sell it for millions and millions of dollars, or like mass produce it. It's something that everybody wants or everybody needs, and it hasn't been thought up yet. And you could be a millionaire just like that.
Anything. There's so many tools. Like I was telling you about. I gave you a brief summary of the the t-shirt idea I have.
Right.
So this company's called Shopify, and what they do is it's pretty much a subscription. You can run a whole e-commerce business through this tool called Shopify. This company.
Right.
And they take a small portion of the stuff that you sell, and it's like a small subscription. It's really really cheap. Really
and the
easy.
guy that, or the person, whoever it was, male, or like female, transsexual, whatever. Anyway, we won't go into
whole nother subject.
The person that invented this has given somebody an opportunity to create something for themselves, but I mean, that's $1 million business in and of itself. You're allowing people the opportunity to make money and build a logo, a brand, while also making money off that logo and brand.
Absolutely. It's a great business model. I mean, you're helping people achieve their dreams while also achieving yours,
Right.
And that's pretty big. That's almost a perfect business plan.
It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. But you gotta think when it comes down to real business, it's like how many people are actually out there trying to, make these e-commerce websites and stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother different subject too. Then you go into finance and all that kind of stuff. But for like the basis of the idea, that guy obviously found a loop or a hole in the system. That's what they always say about inventions and ideas. They start with a problem that you want to be solved. So you go out there and you find out a way to solve it, and whether that's a service or a product, you're able to sell that thing to other people who have the same exact problems.
No doubt. I mean, good on them. But then there you go. You're right there in the $1 million business. You're riding in Lamborghinis, not watching TV and reading books.
There it is. See, we're getting on the right page. Okay, I love it. Absolutely. Dude, the books is key.
Hey, you know what? I'll pick one up one day. You just give me a recommendation and I'll roll with it.
Well, I mean, hey, we're staying at the same place right now. I got about maybe 30 of them here, so.
All right.
Maybe you can pick one up.
Take my first
I'll
one.
recommend.
All right. Sounds good.
Awesome. Before we got sidetracked on the book story.
Yeah.
We kind of got off topic there. What I was talking about is the law of attraction. And wait, no, we described that already, right?
We did.
Yeah. Why did I bring up Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich?
Because you want me to read more.
Okay.
I'm just
kidding. Yes, definitely part of it. Well, anyway, that's like the most sold success book of like all time, or like help, self-help, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right.
A lot of people think that's bullshit too, but the way I see it is, especially for yourself, like you said, you didn't really have, a father figure or anything, likewise with myself. So to have those kind of lessons from someone who's already been out in the world and has tried to be successful and has failed and then succeeded and write it all down, it's the life.
Giving you the guide for success.
Absolutely. They're telling you the problems they came across and the solutions to those problems so you could avoid all of that,
Yeah.
Take the right
you
path.
want to take it in stride and run with it, man. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the thing too. I said knowledge isn't power. It's the action of knowledge.
Right.
The right direction would be the power, for sure. It's all about, it's about action.
Well, about that action, boss.
There it is. I was waiting for it. And this guy on the Raiders now, huh?
Yeah, man. I couldn't believe that. That was a shock for everybody in the Northwest.
Dude, that's a big move. They're gonna look good.
The Raiders already did look good, man. That was a wrap before Derek Carr got hurt.
They're gonna be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. I think they'll make a deep run this year.
They can win that division.
I don't know, man. If
they almost did last year.
Yeah, if Derek Carr gets his contract, man, I think that they'll run with the Patriots.
Yeah, they could definitely, take their division. I don't know about the Patriots, but that's a whole nother level of genius in Bill Belichick. Brady gets a lot of that credit, but let's get real.
It's the coach.
It's the man under the hood, bro.
Absolutely. That cut off hood, man.
That guy is another specimen.
He's legendary, and I mean, you could tell with the first 4 games of the season, he was running 2 quarterbacks, and I think they were 3-1 in that span.
Dude, they're winning games with their third string. That's right. How you know it's not.
It's
all
that
Brady.
system, and he looked like a guy that teams would want to trade for if they got a bigger sample size of that guy.
Especially the second string, let alone the third string.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Garoppolo, he's big on he's actually good though.
Yeah, he is.
I've watched, Jay Gruden break down his play, and he makes decisions really quick. He makes his reads really fast. He's a really smart quarterback.
Right. I mean, with any young quarterback, that's
the biggest issue.
I feel like that's key.
That's also the biggest problem. Yeah, that's the biggest problem too. That's the biggest hurdle to overcome.
Yes, and the more they take hits, the more they discouraged you're gonna get, and the worse your play is, confidence is dropping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
a lot of them always say too. Like I've listened to a lot of them, and they always say that when they get to the NFL, the biggest problem is the speed. They're like, everything happens so fast.
Right.
The receivers are so fast, the corners are so fast, and the breaks, the reads are so quick. Everything is a whole nother speed.
And studying, reading, learning your plays, that's key too. I don't know, the quarterback's got a heavy job to put on his shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Carrying that whole playbook, runs, passes, checks, audibles, everything, reading you have to study the defense as much as you do the offense.
Routes. Yeah, you got to know everything.
That's that's an intense job. That's why they get paid the most money.
I agree. What is also, for me, I was a tight end, and a lot of people don't give tight ends the credit they deserve too, because you have to know everything quarterback knows.
Yeah,
everything.
Right.
They know the same exact things. Linemen, they're just worried about, okay, yeah, it's pass play. We're in this zone blocking scheme. We're in this blocking scheme, whatever. And the center, he's got to read the defense, and he makes adjustments too. So they have their own language down there.
Yeah.
And then the receivers, they have their own language with the quarterback. And the tight end, he's on the line and he's a receiver, so he's got to know all of that.
He's got to, yeah. And like when you're running a route, where to drop in a zone versus man defense, like finding that hole, unless it's man where you're just beating your guy one-on-one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, you're going through a lot as a tight end. I played tight end in youth football before I got to high school, and yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of responsibility. Yeah,
there's a lot going on down that position. It's very underappreciated. Well, they're kind of getting a lot of credit now. You got all these guys like, Gronkowski and,
Jimmy Graham, these freak athlete basketball players that just come out.
That's what it is, too. Antonio Gates fucking started all that, man.
He set the tone for everyone else. On a dare. Was it a dare,
he lost
really?
the bet and had his tryout for the football team.
I didn't even know that.
And now he's like the best tight end of all time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't. You can rival him with Tony Gonzalez. I feel like Tony Gonzalez is the man.
Yeah, Tony Gonzalez he was definitely a stud.
Yeah.
No credit taken away from that man. Definitely not. I know when I made the transition to tight end too. It was when I got to high school, and this is right after Peyton Manning totally changed the entire game of football with the no huddle, the spread,
right.
like all that, So that's what football is nowadays. He totally changed the whole thing with that no huddle. Yeah. Now it's, hurry up to the ball. We're in a spread offense. You're reading hand signals. You see all these colleges with these giant poster boards that'll have like a meme. Yeah. And then like, Oprah Winfrey eating a banana.
It's like Pictionary.
Like the most random shit, dude. We did that in high school when we did all these hand signals, and you got to learn all that. It's so many different languages.
It is. It's tough. I mean,
it's a whole different way of, communication and linguistics. It's pretty intense.
It's a good experience, definitely.
It's the best experience of my life, for sure. I mean, not even just the glory, which is like what everyone, thinks back on. And that's that guy that's in the bar drinking who rushed for, 1,500 yards of senior season.
Yeah, I made this play, I made that play.
Yeah, no one wants to be that guy. The glory's great, but that's not what I really look back on. That's not what I miss the most. It's not the glory. It's the camaraderie, the friends I've made. It was I played that game since I was 5 years old. I was just growing up there. All that stuff. Especially growing up in low income housing, it's just a way to let out all your aggression. I've literally blood, sweat, and tears in that sport. It's like I'll always have love and respect for that game.
Absolutely,
so powerful.
And I think honestly, you can take that football and you can run it with your own job. Okay, I think you could tie into what we do now in the Navy, because I mean, you go on deployment with guys and,
it's all you got, man.
It's all you got. You're stuck out in the water. It's life or death in some situations. And, there's people that you have to rely on, and they're going to help you get through it, and you're going to help them get through it, It's not for everybody, and it's kind of tough. But, I mean, once I get out of the Navy, whether you hate the Navy, you just have bad blood with your situation. Some people have good ones. Some people have bad ones. I mean, even if I left with a sour taste in my mouth, I'd always miss having, that camaraderie, the brothers and sisters that you relied on throughout your time on deployment. One of the toughest times you're away from your family and you're friends, all the people you left back home, people who leave their kids, and you have to rely on people to get you back to those people you care about back home, which I think is great.
Yeah, it's definitely, pretty impactful. I just, me personally and, my team and the way we did things and, the group that I work in, and I see it a lot in Navy compared to what I've heard and, seen from, almost people in the Army and the military, is the camaraderie is definitely nowhere near that, but the danger is nowhere near what it is there either,
Right.
So that definitely plays an effect.
Yeah.
The camaraderie with my, the people I'm with and stuff, it's okay, but it's a lot of selfishness.
You're going to have those people. I mean, people are coming straight from high school that they don't know how to grow up or be their own person. You're they're moving from one situation where they're relying on family, right? Parents to get them through school and feed them and bathe them and clean their room. These are kids that were taken care of all the way up until the point where they left their home, and now they're getting free food. Again, they're getting a room. Sometimes they don't have to clean their room like somebody else's guy at birthing cleaners. This one guy. You can make your mess and leave it there. Someone else is going to clean it up for you. So you're not really learning when you make that transition. Now, me personally, I joined the Navy at 21 years old. So I had experience where I was like that gap between high school and, moving out. So
very beneficial gap. I did the same.
It's a beneficial gap, right? And you learn to, fend for yourself. You learn to, be responsible and take care of yourself and clean your room and, do those basic things that I don't think some of these kids get. So when you get into a situation where like people act selfishly or, like they're not really considerate of the other people around them, I think it also has a lot to do with like, the fact that they have never had to, rely on themselves to take care of their stuff and, have that sense of like responsibility, like if someone messed up my room, well, hey dude, you're putting more of a burden on me type of deal, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, they haven't even had to rely on themselves, let alone have other people rely on them as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now they're thrust into a situation where...
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you take yourself out to the Persian Gulf, and it's a life or death situation, and this man can't even, like, clean his own room, let alone wash his ass. And he just wants to be a little selfish prick, but I mean, you got to rely on that guy, and you got to hope that when time comes, he pulls through, right? I mean,
yeah, you got to hope.
But I mean, like even still, you want to build that. You want to like make sure that man is like at least in his job, squared away. Maybe not squared away as like a person or like someone who's like responsible or something like that. As far as like like I don't know. Being mindful of others or even himself, but you want to make sure that when it comes down to it that man can do his job. So
yeah, I feel you on that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, my confidence in that man doing that job in this branch, maybe not even just this branch, but in the situation that I'm in right now, is pretty low. Like, I would hope that man, would drag me out of a fire. But I don't know how many really would. You know what I mean?
I can see that. Right. I mean, that's...
Because you got to think, a lot of people join the Navy to get a Camaro and get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair.
To buy all these flashy things. They just see it as like, a start to life, and they don't take... And it's given, It's salary based.
Yeah, it's...
You can't really get fired unless you get, DUI or you fucking rape someone or do something like obnoxious.
Right.
So it's given.
It is.
I mean, get away by doing the bare minimum is what I'm trying to say.
And that's where people also like get that sense of like entitlement, they're still being like coddled, taken care of by like now they just have a bigger parent. The government is like still spoon feeding them.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I feel like people can grow up in the military though, It does provide.
You gotta see some shit.
It does, yeah. It does provide a good structure, though. If anything else, you'll be on time. If you're not on time, you're getting reamed for it.
Yeah, because there's repercussions, though. You think when they get out, that's gonna carry over? For most people, I think so. But for some, you know what I mean? There's always
some won't.
There's definitely some that There's that select few that fuck it up for the rest, just like. The hard right and the hard left.
Exactly.
And every race, like everyone. The population in general.
Yeah.
Small amount of people. And that's what people focus on.
Yeah,
just like the news.
Yeah, you're not gonna gonna hear about Joe Navy who's cleaned his shop pristine for the last like couple months, and you're gonna hear about that guy that drove his car through a convenience store and how he made life hell in Japan for all of the Navy because he got alcohol like banned or whatever.
Yeah,
like it's all negative for the most part. But I mean, there are more good than bad sailors out there.
I agree. I do agree.
Sure, you're gonna have problems with people. Like I have problems with people on deployment. But I wasn't gonna let it affect me. I'd still rather go on deployment than be in the yards. I would want to be there right now.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole different vibe too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. And one thing that I really took from, deployment the most was every day, right? You work, everyone's got different working hours. No matter who you are, they're usually long.
Definitely.
They're fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
You miss your family. It's a lot of stress in that situation, right?
It is. That's
and
why
you can
I
do,
don't got hair.
You can do, you can do, a few things with that. And the way I looked at deployment, like I would be in the mess deck, right? And I would sit there and I'd look around in the middle of a work day, say lunch or dinner. And, some people, they get off work, they sleep, wake up, repeat, right?
Right.
And then you have other people who in that spare time, instead of binge watching downloaded Netflix series, they're in the gym, they're in the library, and the amount, like the percentage of people that were doing that, happening to life rather than having this life or this deployment happening to them.
Right.
I feel it was almost a direct, like it is directly, relatable to society as a whole.
Yeah.
That's the way I saw it. It's like this whole little experiment thing was it was society on a steel box sent out into a stressful situation, and the amount, almost like life here, life's not hard when you move out and you got to do your own things.
Definitely.
You're either going to try and grow or you're just going to exist. You're going to happen to this deployment, or you're going to happen in this life, or this deployment's going to happen to you, or this life's going to happen to you. And the amount of people that happen to the life of the deployment is way too low.
I agree. I mean, I was motivated in the beginning of deployment. I was in the gym for the first 3 months, getting stronger, and I was motivated, which was great. But then they send you cranking, or they got like different courses for you to go do and stuff like that, and then you kind of get yourself out of it. One big thing for me was like nourishment on deployment. I was losing weight rapidly. And even though for the first month I was working out, I was like losing energy. I didn't feel like I was like utilizing as much as I could have been. I didn't get enough food, and it was kind of hard, honestly. I came back 20 pounds lighter than when we left. Like 25 pounds.
Yeah, the food definitely sucks. I mean, you can do some things with it, You
gotta be Lerma, and you just gotta gorge yourself. That man would wait till everyone went out, and he would take all the leftovers and throw them on his plate.
Yeah, but you can get leftovers at the last 15 minutes. I mean, you can always go back.
That's true. But I mean, you're busy. You got to do stuff.
Well, not during lunch.
Work. Our division was pulling us out early from lunch to go handle maintenance and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not chain of command.
Yeah. Blame them for my 25 pounds of weight loss.
There it is. They should be taking that extreme ownership.
I hope they don't watch this, cocksuckers.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's the same percentage of people, indulging in, cheeseburgers and fries. It's just a direct correlation, man. I literally saw a society. It was an experiment. It was it was pretty wild just seeing that. Like, how many people wanted to, because being successful starts with being healthy, man.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the start. Cleaning your room, getting that first task out of the day, and then taking care of your body. When they say you are what you eat, that is like the most literal statement.
It really is.
Because you put all these nutrition in your body, and they help build your cells. Everything down to the cellular level, and then you take a shit and you got to restart. It's dead serious. Like, when you take a shit, you're like a completely different person. Like,
absolutely.
You literally lost a ton of all your nourishment.
I always feel refreshed afterwards, though.
It's like a restart button, dude.
It is. You feel like it's like after waking up from a good nap. Some of those shits can just really revitalize you, man.
Absolutely. Man. You're just holding that in all day, all that extra weight. You get it over with. Yeah.
Your podcast just took a turn for the worst.
Hey, man, it's natural, and just roll with it,
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Conversations go ups and downs, sideways, laterally, everywhere.
Yeah. Might drop out of your ass into a toilet one day.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's funny. But yeah, I got a question for you. So, what is the best purchase you've made in the last year?
The best
under $100.
The best purchase I've made in the last year under $100. Man, like material, like something that I still have to this day of value, or something that I just enjoyed in the moment.
This question is up to you. I'm not gonna tell you how to answer.
I don't even know, man. I'm not a big spender, so I guess like the last most useful way I spent my money was to prepare myself for the gym and this like transformation that I'm starting on. I'm pretty fresh into the, getting into a routine and working out and trying to eat healthy and stuff like that. So I guess that would be it. I mean, I don't go out and do much, and I was in school for 4 months in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, that's about best I can come up with at this point.
There you go. I mean, I know it's a great purchase. You know what I mean? It's a very beneficial purchase.
Yeah, I mean, you need those things, and you're learning from those purchases too, because I was buying things that were at the time when I first started that weren't like the best for you. They weren't like, even for the price, maybe it was like cheap, maybe it was high end, but I wasn't getting like the best for my money.
Yeah.
And so like going through that and seeing how it shapes your body while you're using those products and stuff, it's a good learning experience. Whether the actual product itself you spent your money on was worth it for you, but I mean, like I said, I'm new to this, so getting into this routine and learning what works best for me is valuable, definitely.
Roger that. So when you talk about these supplements, what are you taking? What are you buying?
Right now, I had Gold Standard whey protein for that 4 months that I was working out.
Is that GNC?
It was GNC.
Stay away.
Yeah, I learned my lesson with that too. And this strawberry tastes like dick. Not that I know. Maybe I would. I don't know. I was taking a creatine, BCAAs. I liked C4.
How much water are you drinking?
A lot. I was drinking 1.5 gallons a day.
Yeah, there you go. That's good, especially with creatine.
Yeah.
Maybe even some liver support.
I was taking milk thistle.
Support. Yeah, milk thistle.
Which was nice. I also had fish oils and daily vitamins, and I liked C4 for pre-workout for maybe the first month, and then after that it was like I was going into the gym and I just wasn't getting that same energy or same boost. And
you kind of grow tolerance to that stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to move on to, so I kept buying C4, and I don't know, motivation stopped. I would actually start yawning in the gym on C4.
Ooh, that's not good.
And that was I need to definitely do some research and get into some other kind of pre-workout.
Yeah, there's some good pre-workouts. I've taken Bull Knox. I like Bull Knox a lot. Bull Knox is a good one.
Buddy had that too.
Mr. Hyde is good.
Mr. Hyde?
I had Mr. Hyde. That'll jack you up.
Yeah.
That shit's like cocaine, dude.
You had NO Explode before they changed the formula on that?
Yeah, back in the day.
Bro,
the craziest one I ever took was Jack 3D, or Jacked.
I think I've heard of that too.
Oh my god. They had to change the formula on this one, right?
Yeah.
I got this at GNC when I was in high school one time. Someone told me to get it. Bro, I would go in the gym and all it would do, I swear it wasn't even like highly caffeinated, like it would amp me up like that. It would like alter my mind, where I just thought about every little thing that's ever pissed me off in my life, and then gave me some energy. Dude, it was incredible. Like, I'd be benching, like, thinking about, like, oh, this stupid bitch. Fucking, like, dude, no. Just going nuts. Like, it was incredible. Dude, literally jacked me up. Hence the name. But then they changed the formula on it. I guess they had to take something out of it, and it was never the same. But
right.
I think like I went through like 2 or 3 cycles of that stuff, like 2 or 3, containers, and that shit was incredible.
Yeah, man, I'd actually take NO Explode before I'd go like do a snowboarding session, and like that was back when the formula was still fucking awesome. And
yeah, they used to be at the top for a while.
Yeah, like, and my buddy's like dad, he had like a bottle of it, and I was never like a big workout guy back in high school either. So when he showed me this, he's like, oh, we're gonna go hit the slopes. You want to come up today? And he's like, pop this pre-workout first. And I was like, why would I take pre-workout before like snowboarding? That doesn't make sense to me. And he's like, no, just go ahead, take it. the amount of energy I had, like I couldn't sit still on the lift going up the mountain. I wanted to jump off and just ride like right then and there. I couldn't stand it. The amount of energy that shit gave you, it was literally like being on cocaine. I couldn't just handle it anymore. It's like the one and only time that I would fuck with that shit while snowboarding.
That's hilarious.
I was gonna kill myself.
No doubt.
Man, that's another thing too. I want to go back and I miss the mountain, man. Snowboarding is probably like the most epic, freeing, peaceful time of your life. It's insane. You feel so like you feel like you've removed yourself from the world and society, and you're in your own just fucking zone world. Like you put your headphones in, it's just you're bored, your skis, whatever, and the mountain, and it's fucking awesome. I love that shit. I miss it. I want to go back.
That's probably what attracts most people, you know, just that freeing, weightless feeling. You know, on the slope.
Definitely. Definitely. A lot of people, like, you know, like stoners, hippies and stuff like that, like their mentality with basically life. Like that's my mentality with snowboarding. I feel like a hippie when I get to the mountain, you know, like a kid again. Because, I mean, it's literally the most freeing thing I've ever done. I feel like weightless.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they have Big Bear out here or whatever?
Yeah, they got Big Bear. I tried Big Bear out before we left on deployment. It's really not the same as a Northwest, like being in Oregon on the mountain.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have some nasty slopes up there, right?
Way better. Yeah, definitely. And it's, I don't know, just the runs itself are bigger, like way bigger. I mean, we're in San Diego, we're in California.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't really expect.
Like practically Mexico.
Yeah, you can't really expect the best.
Yeah.
I would take this sunshine, though. This sunshine it's a blessing because you only get about 45 days of that shit in Oregon.
Yeah. It's
one of the like most depressing states to live in. They're getting better weather than us right now, man.
Yeah, that's how it is back home, too, up in PA. Like, people are sending me snaps with the weather thing. It's like 90 degrees up there, 89 degrees.
Yeah.
Damn.
My mom was like, oh, the weekend's going to be great. High 80s, 90s all weekend. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? It's like 70 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, but we get it later. When it starts to get cooler up there, it's still hot as fuck down there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll have it for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't rain all the time here like it does in Oregon.
It hardly rains. They're in a drought, like, all the fucking time.
Yeah. I appreciate the opportunity to live in San Diego, though.
Yeah, no, it's a good experience, you know?
Definitely.
Definitely not for me. You know, I'm appreciative of the 4 years, but that's it for me.
I feel you. I mean, this isn't a place I'd want to live.
Exactly.
I like the experience, to get this experience.
Yeah, likewise.
Right. And this place is like, it's fast, you know? I feel like it's pretty fast. Like a lot of people just like to go out and drink and party and, you know, do that thing, beach. And like in Oregon, everything's pretty slow. You know, you can go out and you can do a trail or whatever, go hiking like you said you would like to do. Go to the mountain. A trip to the mountain feels like a weekend thing all wrapped into one day, which is pretty, I mean, you're just taking life slow. You're enjoying it. You're enjoying the moments. Everybody's moving fast here, you know?
Yeah.
It's like fucking slam a bottle of vodka so I can fucking forget today, tomorrow, and the next day. It's not like that in Oregon.
So, you said you recently quit drinking.
I did. Yeah, I don't drink anymore. It's I'm not a good drunk anyway. So it's better for all parties involved if I don't drink. But, I mean, mostly made this choice for, you know, me being new into this fitness thing. And I don't personally like hard liquor. I'm more of a beer guy. And beer is also terrible for gains.
Oh, the worst for gains.
So I'm cutting myself off for the good of myself and everyone else.
Let's go deeper into that. The way you explained the vodka and forgetting about today, tomorrow, and the rest. It sounded like that had something to do with that mindset had something to do with you quitting as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, personally, myself, whenever I would drink to, like, I would binge drink pretty much, you know? Like, my drunk experiences were like blackouts.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
Yeah,
which isn't good.
Definitely not good.
So one, I started to slow down, and then I don't know. I guess it's even when I wouldn't drink a lot, I would still black out by the end of the night. I wouldn't even remember going to bed.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not a way you want to live your life. And I know a lot of people that do that. A lot of people that have that blackout experience like way too often. And I'd like to enjoy my time. And I can go to a party and not drink, and I'll remember everything, which is cool. It's better than waking up the next day and trying to find my wallet and finding out my phone is, cracked into 7 pieces, and I don't know why.
That's the biggest thing for drinking for me too. Is like the hangover. Like, it affects everything.
It does.
It affects your whole next day. Not only your body, it's gonna affect your mind, which is directly correlated to your body, and what you feed it. So the next day you're gonna be like, oh, I'm so hungover. Let me go. I need this or I need that. Like it fucks up my diet all the time. If I'm hungover, I don't give a shit the next day. Like,
you're not eating. I'm like, yo,
let's go get Burger King or something. You know what I mean? Like, I need greasy food because I read somewhere or I heard somewhere once that greasy food's good for hangovers. So it's like, okay, I need this to stop. So I'm gonna go eat that, and then I eat that, and then I feel like even more shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the effect that it has, like the prolonged effect, how it doesn't only affect you in the moment and totally alter your state of mind, but the next day too. It's like.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I've had 2-day hangovers.
I was just gonna say, I've gone 2 days where that first night of drinking has just wrecked both days.
Like Friday through Monday is just a total waste.
Yeah,
like the whole weekend's just gone. Of me laying in bed because I'm in agony,
sleeping the days away, not waking up until like 3-4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, seriously.
I've had way too many nights like that or days like that, which is, like I said, man. Like, that's not a way you want to live your life. You want to get out, experience things, and I don't need alcohol to do that and have a good time, so I'm pushing it away. Because I can do that.
I'm a much better person when I don't drink, too.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely a much better person when I don't drink.
I like to fight a lot when I drink.
Yeah, that's no good.
No. And generally, it's like with people that, like, I'm around. The people I'm drinking with, so it's not good.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing.
I had an experience in DC like that while I was over in school. We went to DC, and some girl at the bar like nudged my friend, turned around and told him, "Hey, can you move over?" And like everything from him to me, like, or to the end of the bar, was crowded. She and her boyfriend were like taking up like 4 feet of space. There's chairs open like that way, like she could just step over, right?
Yeah.
And she was just a complete snob about it. So I looked at her and I go, "No, he doesn't have to move over. You can move over." I was blacked out at this point. I don't even actually remember that. I don't remember saying that, and I don't even remember what started it. This was what was told to me. Well, she started arguing with me and like got bitchy with me apparently. And her boyfriend like was just standing there all like awkward, right? And I looked at her and apparently I go, "If you don't shut the fuck up and get out of this bar, your boyfriend's gonna get his ass kicked, and it's gonna be all your fault." And the guy looked at me and he was scared shitless. My friend said it was like he like just pissed himself. And then he tried to like, I guess, nut up and like defend her. And so I guess he said something to me. And it wasn't like an attack or anything like that. So I like kind of like brushed it off. And my friend kind of stepped in. Then by this time, bartenders are coming around. And I come back to when this bartender like comes up and starts talking to us and trying to like see what's going on. So we talk it all out or whatever. They actually end up leaving in the middle of me talking to this bartender. And like they took off and just bailed. And we got like free, like my bar tab was actually like $12 after that. Like they compensated me for everything. But like, I guess what I'm getting to at that point is I was in a fucking pissed off mood the rest of the night. Like I was angry. I just wanted to fight. So I'm walking, we got left the bar and I'm like screaming at people on the street. Apparently I black out again at this point. I'm screaming at people on the street. I'm yelling at cars, parked cars that have nobody in them. I'm like wanting to beat the shit out of them apparently. And my friend like gets like really angry and like starts storming off. So I grab him by the head and I'm like give him a little shake and I'm like, "Dude, it's gonna be okay." And then he snaps on me, so I snap back on him, and it was like I was about to kill this kid. And I don't remember almost all of that, 90% of it.
It's not a good time.
It's dangerous, man. It really is. You can get yourself in a lot of trouble in those states.
And you don't even know what you're doing.
No, you have no idea.
You can't. Yeah, I just got to avoid alcohol. It's not a good time.
Yeah, I could definitely feel you on that. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out here.
Oh, I know.
When I black out, it's not fun. It's only out here, too. Like, I can black out back home, and I'm chilling. Like,
yeah.
I can get real drunk with my buddies, and, you know, I just have a good time. Like, it's all laughs and stuff, but I don't know. Out here, it's just like, it's not a good mix with the, you know, the job and everything.
Right.
And then, you know, drinking, it's definitely not a good mix.
I think the mindset you're in before you start drinking can also
everything.
It's
everything.
It is. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, short fuse at that point when I'm drunk.
Well, I mean, yeah, look at the time we went out.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell that story about the time we went to the country bar?
Well, that story...
Well, actually, we went to go see McGregor fight Eddie Alvarez first.
We did. And that was a good time.
That's juicing, but that juices you up. You know, that's never a good mix.
Yeah, just to like see the fight. I mean, it's like going to a good ass movie, and you like, you know, you want to act out that movie when you leave the movie. Like you just feel like you're so engulfed in the experience. And so, like, yeah, when we did that, it was great. Then we go off to the country bar. We have a good time, and everything was literally good until that last like 5 minutes before they closed, and Hudson was trying to bro down with that Pennsylvania dude you met, right? And that dude was giving him shit, and he was wanting to fight him. And I just kept looking at Hudson. I'm like, dude, it's not even worth it. He's literally trying to rile you up and like start a fight right now. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know where it came from with this guy. So we waited, and they left, and then we left after that. The bouncers like let us wait in the bar. Then you guys loved that bush hug game y'all were playing. Bro. Yeah, I mean, he got a little he gets a little carried away with that.
Anyone in the bush.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you like, chased him through that gas station.
Well, bro, I mean, so we were fucked up, and we leave that bar after, you know, that almost fight or whatever. Well, that happened because I met this this fucking dude told me he was from like Pennsylvania, and he actually knew this kid from like my high school that I grew up with, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then, you know, this other kid was like, I don't know, he was saying something, and then, yeah, they got into it. But anyway, so we leave, and, you know, you're drunk, and there's a fucking Del Taco right across the street. So we're like, let's go get some fucking tacos. Fuck yes, we're going to get tacos. So we go to get these tacos, and they're closed, but the drive-in's open.
Yeah.
So we're upset. Our friend, Sam, he attempts to walk through the drive-thru because we don't have a car. We Uber there. Obviously, we're drunk, and we're responsible young adults.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Navy. And, you know, we go to the drive. He's walking through the drive-thru and, you know, tries to order. They don't let us order. And I'm like blacked out drunk. Like, I'm having trouble walking. I'm in bad shape. And this is my first time ever going out with Hudson. I've only ever, like, you know, interacted with him on the ship and stuff. And first time going out with him and you.
Yeah.
And he pushed me in a bush outside this Del Taco, and I was like, you know, haha, whatever, grow up. And then he pushes me in the bush again, and I'm like, okay, dude. I'm like, can you stop? Like, please. Then he helps me out of this bush. Or no, then we cross the street. There's a gas station. So we try to get food there. They're also closed. So he pushes me in the bush again, and now I'm like really mad. And he helps me out of the bush, and when he picks me up, he pushes me back in the bush, and I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, I couldn't just let him bully me, you know what I mean? Because what was my relationship going to be with him if, you know, I just let him get away with bullying me when we drink, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
It wasn't going to be good. So, you know, he pushed me in the bush again. I'm like, okay, that's it, right? So I like sober up. I'm like chasing him around the parking lot. He's like laughing and thinks it's all a joke. I fucking like grab him, you know, throw him on the ground, and I got on top of him, and I didn't want to like hit him in the face because, you know, I like hardly knew the kid. I just knew like we worked together. I haven't really hung out with him at all, so I didn't want to like bruise him up so I can get in trouble on the ship for, you know, coming back with a black eye or whatever.
Definitely.
You know? So I'm like, what do? I get on top of him and I start hitting him in his ribs, and then, you know, he's trying to hit me back, and then, you know, I fucking headbutted him in the face, totally threw away the whole no face thing, and then he was trying, like, then he got really mad. And, you know, he's on the bottom, and he's, like, trying to, like, get out. And I'm like, okay. So I just bring him in real close to me, and I grab my hands around the back of his head, and I hug him in tight. So, like, because he was trying to hit me in the body. So, you know, the tighter you are with someone, the harder it is to hit them. So I'm just hugging him, and I'm, like, okay, this is going to escalate. Like, if he gets on top of me, we're going to full on fight. So I'm just trying to calm the situation down at this point. I'm like, dude, come down. Like, we got way out of hand. We're friends. I love you, bro. Calm down. He's like, okay. So we get up, and this guy loses his watch. And we're like, he said it was an expensive watch. So we said, all right, well, maybe it's back at that other bush you pushed me in, dick. So we cross the street to go back and take over.
Yeah, then we get to Del Taco, and he's wandering around. We're looking in the bushes for his watch, and then he makes his way over to the drive-thru, right, again, and then he wants to order tacos or whatever, and he's trying to get burgers. And at this point, I'm recording him on Snapchat.
No, that was before. That was the first time we were there.
No, that was
as soon as we left the bar.
Oh, okay, so when we got back over there, the car rolls up through the drive-thru.
Yeah.
And they what was it they yelled at him? They yelled that you look like a bunch of Trump supporters, right?
Yeah, that was it.
And he rips his shirt off and like looks at him and goes, "Hell yeah, I am." Or so he's just like way over the top with it, you know, as Hudson is with most things.
It's a car full of like girls too. There's
yeah,
like 3 like, you know, California snobby bitches in there.
Yeah, and these couple guys in the car. One's driving, one is in the back seat, and
the other one was in the passenger seat.
The other one was in the passenger seat, right? And they first dude jumps out of the car and starts coming at Hudson, and Hudson fucking dings him up real good, man. And I think he hit him like 3-4 times and drops him.
Well, yeah, this guy, it wasn't like this guy was coming out to like say, "Hey man, sorry." Like, he walked out, slammed the door of the car, out of the passenger seat, walks around the car towards us. You know, just totally like, okay, he's about to throw down.
Oh yeah, he was
like,
gunning for it.
Yeah,
head
like,
down.
Hudson
like
definitely felt
bowling.
threatened. I knew they were about to fight. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
there's no reason for him to storm out of the car like that unless he's looking to fight.
The guy that walked around the back of the car was actually the second guy. The first guy was the one that like he just got out of the passenger seat and just like swarmed him.
Well, yeah, but the passenger seat was on the other side.
Or like it was but the one coming out around the back of the car, that was when you and me jumped in.
Oh, okay.
And the guy coming around the back of the car was like coming at Hudson, and Hudson's standing over the first guy. And then you and I jumped over the bush. And you said it before, you're like, I'm not jumping in on a one-on-one fight. And then these fucking other guys come out of the fucking woodwork ready to fucking throw down, and we jump in and start fucking swinging on them. Man, that boot to that kid's face that you delivered was nasty. You like motivated me to kick that man in the face afterwards.
You're welcome.
He took 2 boots to the face, that poor kid. It was bad. We jumped on another guy and just started beating the shit out of him, all 3 of us.
I mean, those fuckers deserved it, though. Like, they're fighting one-on-one. You know, our guys winning, so these 2 assholes decided to get out of the car, and,
yeah, you
know, he wasn't going over the top. It's like he was, like, unconscious or anything, and he was still beating him. They were still scruffling.
Yeah.
And these 2 guys, you know, they come out of the car, you know, like fucking bats out of hell, like they're gonna go beat up our boys, so, you know, we're boys. So I run over there, and this dude's getting up off the ground, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, thought about it a few times, so I fucking kicked a 50-yard field goal with this dude's head.
Dude, you sent that man's head off the grass, like it bounced, and then it came back basically to where you kicked it. And as soon as his head came back, I was gearing up for the 60-yard field goal. I was trying to best yours. And I sent that man's head to the moon too, dude. That was rough.
I mean,
and then we like advanced, and after that, Hudson was like fucking beating on this guy near a bush and pushed that girl into the bush, and she started freaking out. I think Hudson took 4 punches to the face.
Well, no, he pushed her, but like after she started hitting him, she got out of the car too. The girls did, and the one girl, you know, went up to him and started punching him in the face. So, you know, he just, you know, kind of shoved her in the bush, just get her out of the way.
Yeah, at that point, I was like, I think I was still focusing on the guy kicked in the face.
I don't know. Like I said, I was in bad shape, and with that mixture of adrenaline, I was just, you know, in that not even fight or flight. I was in full fight. So
yeah,
I was just, you know, trying to do, you know,
man, I was trying to have our boys back. It was good though. I mean, y'all took off on me, and
well, you decided to help the kid back in his car and apologize.
I sure did.
I saw all the bouncers from the bar. They all started running over.
I know, I saw that too.
And I was like, "Yo, we gotta go right now!" And I was screaming to both of you guys. I was like, "Yo, let's go, let's go, let's go!" And then me and Hudson took off, and we like got kind of far. And then I noticed you weren't with us, so I remember just screaming. I'm like, "Zach, dude, Zach, let's go!"
It just hit me, man. You guys took off. I turned around real quick to see what, like, if that kid was.
Our escape though.
Oh yeah, that was epic,
dude.
That was epic.
We don't know where the fuck we were, so we start fucking running. I
finally found you guys after I helped that kid to the car
in the parking lot, and then you guys are like, we like start running. We like cut through a yard, and then, you know, you guys start like just yelling at each other in like someone's backyard, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, dude, argue about it later. We gotta go. Like the cops are coming. We gotta go. We're gonna get in trouble. So then we were in like we like hopped that fence or whatever. I think.
Dude, we were in some like canal or something.
Yeah,
it was
like a canal, like in Greece when they drag race in that thing in LA or whatever the fuck that was. That's where we were. You know, like those cement things that, you know, a little stream of water runs down the middle, right? It goes underneath bridges and shit. We're in one of those, and I'm like, what the fuck? So we like climb up that hill, we like get out of there, and then next thing you know, we're on the street calling Uber as our getaway vehicle, and
the best getaway vehicle ever, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I've seen it in a commercial once before. That bank robbery.
Oh yeah, they must have got that from us.
Yeah, they must.
Uber driver left a good comment.
Dude, that was an epic night. That was a good time.
Yeah. So, Mr. Zachary, what's one thing that you believe in that isn't proven?
One thing that I believe in that is not proven?
Yes.
That is not proven. I don't know. I'm a guy that's sets his beliefs in proven things, if that makes sense to you. I'm not a guy that goes based off of faith so much, you know, in things that haven't been proven real. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know on that question. I mean, if you can elaborate, what is something that you feel you believe in that has yet to be proven?
Well, there's definitely a few things, but big one is, you know, other life, like.
Right. Okay. So are you talking about like other life as in like the
extraterrestrial life?
Some alien life going on right now?
Life.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think they might not have guitar pick heads, and then it might not be green with black eyes. You know what I mean? They might not be the cliche alien, but I definitely believe that there's some other life out there.
I mean, I would look at that as it wouldn't be out of the norm to me. Like if something dropped out of the sky that wasn't fucking us, you know, like if we've all of a sudden discovered some new race or some new race discovered us, it wouldn't surprise me. The fucking universe is huge, and that's been proven, you know, right? And to think that we're the only thing in it is, I mean,
extremely naive.
It's naive, and I think it's a little bit arrogant.
Absolutely.
It's so arrogant to think that we're the center of the universe. Everything revolves around us, which is what a lot of people's mentality is.
Especially with this new flat Earth theory.
Yeah, well, I give up.
Earth is actually flat, and the universe wraps around the globe.
I give up on people.
That's unbelievable.
Human race is doomed.
Yeah.
What is that fucking saying? A species at war with itself is doomed to be extinct or something like that? That's a great quote. Speaking on war and, you know, all that crap.
Which is all nonsense as well.
It's all nonsense, everything.
All the wars are, you know, decided by people who don't fight in them.
Yeah.
Which is true. Extremely cowardly. That's one thing I do not like about the president is his draft dodging abilities and that whole spiel, you know, that whole background.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't fly right with me.
Yeah, but I mean, what are we gonna do?
Arrogance.
How can we make a change with it though? Like, you know, like so many ways or so many things that we disagree with, right? But what are we gonna do to change those things we disagree with? Are we gonna sit there and just let those things continue to happen, or are we gonna fucking make moves, man? Get into books.
That's the key. I mean,
some fucking action.
one man can change the world. It's been proven multiple times. So many. Martin Luther King. You have so many. You also have Leonidas.
Yeah.
Without that battle, without that sacrifice, it'd be very likely that we were all slaves.
It's true.
That's why that battle's so connected with everyone. So everyone's so obsessed with it, especially guys in the military, because they gave the ultimate sacrifice for that freedom.
Absolutely.
And pretty much won.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is it's incredible. They had, which is on pure faith and hope. They didn't know if anyone was gonna fight the war after them, but they believed if they made that sacrifice, that people would be motivated by that.
Absolutely.
And people are still motivated by that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Definitely.
Literally legendary.
Literally legendary.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes ever of all time is everyone dies twice. Once when you leave the earth, and another time, the last time anyone ever says your name ever again.
That is an epic quote.
It's amazing.
It is. It really hits home.
Oh yeah. That's the goal, man. It's just even Alexander said it doesn't matter, when it's all said and done, all that matters is what you've done.
Yeah.
It's all that matters.
Definitely. Achilles joining that war, fighting in Troy. That man, legend, man. Just the only thing that he ever cared about. He had the opportunity, according to the myth. His mom said that you go to this war, and people will speak of your name for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And that, or you stay home and you have a wife and kids, and your kids, your grandkids, the kids after that, they'll remember you, but soon your name will be forgotten. That man wanted his name to be remembered for thousands of years.
Well, he also almost didn't join the war on that side until Hector accidentally killed.
All right, his cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but shit happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you believe in the myth or whatever, that his mom was the sorcerer and predicted that when you leave for Troy, you won't come home. I mean, regardless of that temptation to go home at that time, I mean, he still stayed and still fought. Shit happened, right?
Yeah.
The prediction I don't feel like was ever going to change at that point.
Yeah.
Because he made his choice at that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
And the woman was his Achilles heel in a sense anyway. She's who he went back for.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was a part, they won, right? Greeks got into Troy. They did what they wanted to do. And he could have been a part of that if he didn't go hunting down a female. That man probably would have been okay. But he decided that he didn't want to be a part of that shit anymore. And he fucking died. The
female, powerful specimen.
Powerful specimen.
Especially to a man when it comes to chasing and stuff. Just like I was talking about Pandora's box before, how you can get trapped in Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And by the time you get out, you don't even realize how long you've been there. And I've seen that with relationships with my friends.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Huge. They get out of this relationship, the girl cheats on them or whatever, and they're lost. They haven't talked to their friends in 5 years.
They give up everything for someone that they thought they were going to spend the rest of their life with, and
it's hard specimen to trust.
You lose a lot of relationships that way, like you said with your friends. If you don't show time if you can't have a good balance, in a relationship, where you can spend time with your friends and then she can spend time with their friends or her friends, and when stuff like that happens, where you, all of a sudden, a huge life-changing moment where you're not in a relationship anymore. You don't have relationships to fall back on to get you through it either.
Yeah.
If you don't balance it right.
Doomed.
Fuck women.
Right? It's a crazy creature.
They're a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
Mostly a curse.
All right, Mr. Douglas. It's great having you on.
It was a good time, man. I enjoyed our talk.
Awesome. Well, hope to have you on soon. If anyone's interested in, following, where can people reach you, via social media?
Oh man, Facebook, Instagram,
That's about all I got though.
You know your names, Instagram?
Instagram, ZDouglas07, Facebook, Douglas Zach. Look me up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed. Till next time.